Welcome to Minutes Audiobook. Today we gonna see The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel explores the complex and often surprising ways that human behavior and psychology affect how we handle money. In this book, Housel weaves together personal stories, research, and financial principles to highlight how our attitudes toward money often go beyond simple rationality. Here is a chapter-wise summary of the book for you. Introduction: The Psychology of Money. The introduction sets the tone by discussing how the most important decisions we make about money are influenced by our emotions, biases, and upbringing rather than cold, hard calculations. Morgan Housel argues that financial success is not merely about knowledge or intelligence, but about how we manage the emotional and psychological aspects of money. Chapter 1: No One's Crazy. In this chapter, Housel asserts that everyone's financial decisions make sense to them, given their experiences. People often judge others' financial decisions harshly, but those judgments fail to take into account the unique life experiences and circumstances that shape their choices. Housel explains that understanding why people make seemingly irrational financial decisions is key to understanding money psychology. The key takeaway: context matters more than rationality. People's money decisions are based on their personal histories, family influences, and cultural backgrounds, which vary widely. Chapter 2: Luck and Risk. Housel examines how success in life is often determined by luck as much as skill. In finance, we tend to attribute success to smart choices, but many successful people are fortunate, and bad luck can bring even the most skilled individuals down. The book discusses the concept of survivorship bias, where we only see the successful outcomes and ignore the failures. Risk is inherent in everything we do, and understanding the role of luck and risk can help us make better decisions. The key takeaway: luck and risk are inseparable. Acknowledge both, and understand their role in financial outcomes. Chapter 3: Never Enough. This chapter highlights how greed and the insatiable desire for more can be damaging. Many people, no matter how much wealth they accumulate, are never satisfied. Housel suggests that the key to financial well-being isn't maximizing wealth, but understanding when enough is enough. People often end up sacrificing what they have for what they want, not realizing that they've already reached a point of sufficiency. The key takeaway: know when enough is enough. Contentment is key to avoiding destructive behaviors that arise from excessive desire. Chapter 4: Confounding Compounding. Housel explains the power of compounding and how it is often underappreciated. The chapter reveals that wealth accumulation isn't about making a few big, brilliant moves, but about making small, consistent decisions that grow exponentially over time. Compounding applies not only to money but also to relationships, habits, and knowledge. The key takeaway: small, consistent actions lead to massive outcomes over time. It's not about the big wins but about making decisions that grow incrementally. Chapter 5: Getting Wealthy versus Staying Wealthy. This chapter distinguishes between the skill required to acquire wealth and the skill needed to preserve it. Acquiring wealth often requires risk-taking, ambition, and speed, but maintaining wealth requires a different set of values: caution, long-term thinking, and the ability to avoid catastrophic mistakes. Housel discusses how many people who achieve wealth through risk-taking may lose it by becoming overconfident or reckless. The key takeaway: getting wealthy requires taking risks, staying wealthy requires avoiding big mistakes. Preserving wealth often demands humility and caution. Chapter 6: Tails, You Win. Here, Housel discusses the concept of tails in statistics, when rare events have outsized impacts on our lives. Most significant financial outcomes, both good and bad, come from extreme events that occur rarely but shape the majority of results. Recognizing the power of these outliers can help individuals become more realistic about their financial expectations. The key takeaway: outliers and extreme events shape outcomes. The unexpected can drive most of your financial success or failure, and it's important to account for them in decision-making. Chapter 7, Freedom. Money provides a degree of freedom, which Housel sees as one of its most valuable aspects. Financial freedom isn't about accumulating wealth for its own sake, but rather having the ability to do what you want, when you want. Housel highlights how the concept of freedom differs for everyone, with some valuing time over money, while others value security. The key takeaway: the greatest value of money is the freedom it offers. Financial freedom allows you to control your time and make choices based on your preferences, rather than out of necessity. Chapter 8, Man in the Car Paradox. Housel uses the metaphor of the man in the car paradox to explain how we often use money to signal status to others, even though most people don't actually care about the status we try to convey. He argues that people often buy things with money they don't have to impress people they don't like, which leads to a constant cycle of consumption and insecurity. True wealth isn't about flaunting what you have, but about enjoying the freedom it brings. The key takeaway: status is often a poor reason for spending. People rarely care about the things we do for status, and it rarely leads to fulfillment. Chapter 9, Wealth is What You Don't See. This chapter focuses on the idea that wealth is often invisible. People's financial success is not always evident, because it is built on habits like saving, avoiding debt, and making thoughtful decisions, rather than on flashy consumption. Housel urges readers to rethink the way they define wealth, suggesting that it is often hidden in plain sight. The key takeaway: wealth is often invisible. It's not about what you spend, but about what you save, invest, and keep hidden from view. Chapter 10, Save Money. Housel emphasizes the importance of saving money, not just for its own sake, but as a way of gaining control over your life. Saving money gives you options, freedom, and security. This chapter challenges the common view that spending is necessary for happiness and success. Instead, Housel suggests that a strong saving habit is essential for building a secure financial future. The key takeaway: saving is the key to financial security and freedom. Saving money provides you with options in life, helping you take advantage of opportunities as they arise. Chapter 11, Reasonable Irrational. In this chapter, Housel argues that financial decisions don't always need to be rational, but rather reasonable based on personal circumstances. While rational decisions might lead to the mathematically optimal outcome, they might not always align with someone's values, emotions, or long-term goals. It's more important to make reasonable choices that are sustainable in the long run. The key takeaway: reasonable decisions are better than purely rational ones. Financial decisions should align with personal values and priorities, even if they aren't always the most mathematically optimal. Chapter 12, Surprise. The world is full of surprises, and the financial world is no exception. Housel argues that we often overestimate our ability to predict the future, especially in the realm of finance. Market crashes, economic changes, and technological disruptions are all unpredictable, and our inability to foresee these events can lead to poor financial decisions. Embracing uncertainty and preparing for the unexpected is key to sound financial planning. The key takeaway: expect the unexpected. The future is uncertain, and preparing for surprises is a critical aspect of financial decision-making. Chapter 13, Room for Error. Housel discusses the importance of having a margin for error in your financial plans. Life is unpredictable, and no one can foresee all the variables that affect their financial situation. Building room for error, by saving more, spending less, or making more conservative assumptions, ensures that even if things don't go as planned, you will still be financially secure. The key takeaway: build a margin for error into your financial plans. Having room for error protects you from life's unpredictability. Chapter 14, You and Me. This chapter focuses on the differences in financial goals, experiences, and perspectives among individuals. Housel highlights how we all come from different financial backgrounds, and that comparing ourselves to others can be counterproductive. Instead, we should focus on our own goals and recognize that everyone has unique financial circumstances. The key takeaway: personal financial decisions should be based on your own values and circumstances, not on comparisons to others. Chapter 15: The Seduction of Pessimism. In this chapter, Housel discusses how pessimism is often more seductive than optimism, especially when it comes to financial markets. While positive news may seem less exciting, negativity tends to capture more attention. However, long-term, the market has tended to rise, and focusing too much on pessimism can lead to poor financial decisions. The key takeaway: pessimism is seductive, but long-term optimism tends to win. Don't get caught up in the short-term negativity around markets. Chapter 16: The End. In the final chapter, Housel reflects on how people's relationship with money evolves over time. What's important in your 20s may be different in your 30s or 50s, and your financial decisions should reflect the stage of life you're in. The ultimate goal is to achieve contentment and peace of mind, which can often be accomplished by practicing patience, living below your means, and avoiding emotional decision-making. The key takeaway: financial success is about patience, perspective, and adaptability. Be content with what you have, and avoid letting money dictate your happiness. Conclusion of the Psychology of Money book. In the conclusion of The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel emphasizes the importance of understanding the psychological forces behind our financial decisions, as they often have a more profound impact than the technical aspects of finance. Housel reiterates the central theme of the book: money is not just about numbers and formulas, it's deeply influenced by our emotions, experiences, and personal biases. Thank you for watching. Please support